The first time Victor Wembanyama and Steph Curry faced each other was a movie. At first it seemed like a David versus Goliath battle, but by the end it became clear that the two were more similar than different. Steph is 188 centimeters tall and Victor is a foot taller than him. But at first Steph decided to challenge the young giant in a two-handed jump. As expected, Wemby wins the jump, but this will be the only predictable event of the night. First of all, if you are new, subscribe and let's go to the video. As soon as the game begins, Wemby, to assert himself in the game, puts the fear of God in the Warriors' offense with his generational ability to block shots. Steph receives here. A ball screen from the alien Victor is patrolling the paint since his first priority is protecting the rim. Steph throws a pass to Andrew Wiggins, who is shooting 39% from 3 for the Warriors, but he looks where Victor is when Andrew catches the ball. He's out of position. Right, not even close. Victor not only recovers, but he's also long enough to block all 3 with relative ease. Here the Warriors execute a dribble handoff for Clay. Take a look at where Victor is when Clay receives the ball. The distance from the ball is tremendous. Well, Clay makes a shot fake to eliminate the defender from him, but when he goes to shoot, Wemby is already in position to demolish the project, and from there he goes on the run. We talked about Pop's training and you already know the bet he's going to make. Wembanya also learned something from Klay Thompson, simply hitting his next triples of the night and leaving us with surprising quality details. Victor is able to stay in front of Andrew Wiggins, who tries to fade to create extra space on the jumper, but with Wemby's 8-foot wingspan in front of him, it's mission impossible. This leads to an advantageous fast break where Victor calls for the ball alone for later. He rises from 3 as if he were Steph, who is playing against him. The way Victor Wembanyama moves, it's like he's sliding down the court and talking about Steph. The three-point killer wasn't safe from the young Titan either after coming off Kuminga's ball screen. Steph does his usual shooting feint. At an in-and-out drive, Steph creates space by putting his body on Zach Collins. But it's all for no because Wemby simply comes from behind to block the runner who was 4 blocks away until now. Well, here's a 5th just in case. Another demonstration of the way Victor can use his defense to create a high-quality offense. Because his team is already second to none, however, the Warriors would not go down easily after being repeatedly blocked by Wembanya. Wiggins decides to change tactics here and instead of looking for space and shooting, he decides to crash into the defender. Wiggins puts the ball on screen and when Victor follows him, he knocks it out of bounds for an uncontested layup. And this is the best strategy that currently works against Victor by using his momentum against him to create spatial advantages that he can't eliminate as easily. Here Kuminga attacks to the left and then drives to the right with Victor's momentum moving to the left. He turns to the right to fade away. This is basic physics. Newton's first law, an object in motion stays in motion. Shot fakes are also very effective against Wemby. Here Steph uses a fake shot and then another to create space, but Wemby still makes it a difficult shot. Tonight actually, Steph struggled against Victor Wembanyama throughout. Curry shot 6 3-pointers but only managed to score 1. In fact, the only one he managed to score was this one after an offensive rebound with the defense confused and with Victor out of the play. Now let's see him coming off Looney's screen on a mid-range jump shot. The truth is that while Steph was struggling, Victor was shining on both ends of the court. In this play Victor Wembanyama runs aggressively, and when he receives the ball he has already managed to help create a 2 against 1 numerical advantage, and when a 2.24-meter center comes towards you at full speed, you get out of Wembanyama's way. This player is flying in the open field and Victor is also shooting 32% from 3, which is below league average, but not a bad start at all inside the arc. Although he is already unstoppable in the paint, his backward jump shot is already lethal. We know it. It is a universally recognized fact. But look at this counterattack. The Spurs are in transition and the Warriors' defense is not yet established, so Victor immediately attacks the left crosses, lifts his man in the air with a fake and then connects the jumper from half distance as si was Kobe, which seems impossible due to his physique. Wembanyama's only weakness is strength, and one strategy that defenses will try with Wemby will be to be very physical with him. Clay tries it on this possession, but Victor is strong enough and has enough concentration to get the 2+1, and even some of his mistakes are worth highlighting because he tries incredible plays. Let's look at some of those plays. Here Klay Thompson attracts 2 defenders and makes a pocket pass to Wiggins. When Wiggins shoots the determined 3-pointer, Victor decides to run knowing that there are enough rebounding men on the court. Then Sachin rebounds and connects with Wemby. Victor contorts his body to try to perfect the reverse layup. This is what you want to see in a young player. Quick reactions and without fear of making mistakes. Wemby sets a block a little away from the rim and then spins on Klay. He backdoors and the pass is a little off target, but he tries to correct it with his left foot and change the handball in the air. His athleticism is absolutely uncanny on this play. Terrifying hours are coming for the league. Victor finished the night with 19 points in 20 minutes of play accompanied by 5 blocks. Steph left the game without anger because after all, this was just a preseason game. At the end of the game we could see how Victor exchanged shirts with the opponents, which shows the respect they have for him. The first time Victor Wembanyama and Steph Curry faced each other was in a movie and Victor was the lead actor, but this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come.